out there. My name is Lee Johnson, here again from Real Man, Real Stories podcast. On my next interview, it's a shocker, it's a big one, and we're just gonna dive into it. The lady next to me right now is Miss Natasha Brown. She is an upcoming author. She's also a minister. She's the manager of J.B. Tate and a Brand New Life. She's married to her best friend who happens to be J.B. Tate. So we're gonna dive into her story today. The story is about police brutality, about injustice, and then we're gonna try to do things to solve that and help everybody out there so if they come into the same situation, we can give them the keys and the clues to solve that. So we're gonna dive in right now. How you doing today, Miss Brown?
I'm wonderful. What about
Wonderful.
yourself?
I am doing great. I'm doing great.
All
So the
right.
first thing I want to get into is your childhood life. Where were you born? Hospital, and your parents?
Okay, I was born in Atlanta, Georgia. I am a Grady baby. Yes, I shout out to Grady babies. and I was always a shy child, real shy. I was like one of the not black sheep of the family, but I was always, I like to be by myself, like to play by myself. Even when we had a lot of cousins, we had a big family, cousins, aunts, and everything, but I was the one that always would shy away by myself and play, so that's who I were as a child.
Rambunctious.
Yeah.
Were you
And
into
I was
everything?
princey, because I didn't like mud. You know how the girls used to have the mud. I was princey. I didn't like to get in the grass, but I was almost like a tomboy at the same time. But I just didn't like to be all out there with the dirty stuff.
So the definition of a Georgia Southern Peach, that is the definition. If anybody ever asked you all that, the definition of Georgia Southern Peach, she just gave you the definition right now. So how many brothers and sisters do you have?
I have 3 brothers and 1 sister.
Where do you fall in the order of that?
I'm the oldest.
Oh, you big sis.
I'm big sis.
First one in high school, first
Yes,
one everything.
Yes,
Huh?
first
Represent.
and everything, yeah.
So what
Represent.
high school you went to?
East Atlanta and finished in Murphy in
Murphy.
1979.
Is Murphy something different now?
Yes, I think it's Crim High School.
Cram
now.
High School, Memorial Drive.
Yes.
Oh man, that was the bad school when
Yes,
I was in
yeah.
school.
Okay.
But they had a really good track team.
Yeah.
It was pretty good. It was pretty good.
Okay.
All right, so travel on, college, anything like that?
No, I didn't go to college.
So after high school, what was your next journey?
I started having children. 18 years old, I had my first son, the one we'll be talking about.
Okay,
That was
okay,
my first,
okay.
He was my first, yeah.
And what was he like when he came out?
Oh God, he was just one of a child that everybody loved. He was a just a jolly child, always smiling, made everybody happy. It was like when he walked in the room, it was like sunshine came in with him.
Light it up.
He just yes.
Light it up, that super aura.
Yes. Even to the day we buried him, it was so many people at his homegoing, and the people I didn't even know, but he touched so many hearts, despite what was going on with him.
So, since he the oldest, how did he handle having the other siblings come up? Did he take the big brother role?
Oh
or-
yes. He tried to make sure they didn't do anything wrong. He kept them in check.
And what side of Atlanta did y'all grow up at?
The west side. Then we end up moving to Stone Mountain, probably as teenager when he had passed away. We moved in Stone Mountain after he passed away.
Oh, okay, so what high school he went to on the west side?
What high school did y'all went to? Westlake?
Westlake.
Y'all went to Westlake High School?
Yeah.
That's not bad, Westlake High School. So he kept all the other siblings in line.
Oh yes.
Did he ever kind of get out there? Did his friends, were they the right people or the wrong people?
Well, he started out with the right people, and then it was like, it was a grown man in the area that had them starting to steal cars. And so they was influenced by a grown man to joyride and they didn't steal nothing out the cars, not saying that's justifiable,
No.
but that's
But
what started
adult
him.
influences. So let's rewind. In high school, was he an athlete, play instruments, music, arts, anything like that?
Oh, he was an artist.
Draw,
Yeah,
poetry.
Draw anything, can draw me and you sitting here.
Just sit there and straight poet draw
Yeah,
like that.
mhm.
That's definitely
Yeah.
interesting. Did he try to pursue that, anything like that, or?
He didn't have time, because, when he started, once, me and my husband, separated, that kind of, depressed him a little bit, so he stopped drawing.
He stopped drawing a little bit.
Yeah, he did.
Did that kind of take him down a different path or something like
Yeah.
that?
Mhm.
So what kind of happened after that? Like rebellious or?
No, he was never, that's the thing about it, he was never rebellious.
Mhm.
Just at that part where he would go out, with the guy who had him and the boys still in the cars.
So how did he end up, did he ever tell you how he ended up meeting this man?
No, I didn't really know nothing about that till after he got killed.
So you didn't figure
Because I
out?
was one of those mothers that I would go stand on the corner with if my child wanted to do something, sell drugs, I would be that mother that go out there and stand with and say, "This what you want to do?
Do what
Okay,
you
we're
want."
gonna do it together."
So that's a good support system.
Right.
Was there anything like, there's anything about the man, or did he, so you say he never mentioned a man, anything like that? No?
No, never.
And is this guy, was he like, supposed to be like a ringleader? Was he gathering children or something like that? What did the police tell you about him?
When the friends told me, after my son had got killed and everything, and so happened that the guy got shot up and had to go into the hospital. And the only thing he was saying, I need Miss Natasha, I need to tell her I'm sorry. So that's how I got to talk to him, because he was in the hospital. I guess he thought he was dying or whatever, so he wanted to get in touch with me so I can pray for him. He knew I was a praying mother, so he wanted me to come and pray for him and forgive him. And I said, I already forgave you.
What did he tell you when you went to go see him?
I didn't go see him, I talked to
Okay.
him on the phone.
What did he tell you?
He was just saying that, Miss Natasha, I'm so sorry about your son. It's my fault. I had all the boys in the cars and they were just joyriding and everything. And I was like, no, that wasn't right, And so I was so emotional back then, but I was still trying to keep my composure up to just minister to him. Even though what he did, I still had to be the person to forgive him and try to get him on the right track.
So when he was still in the cars, did you have a feeling that he was involved in something like that, or?
Yeah.
What kind of gave you that notion? Was like any signs, any clues, something he left at the house, some money or
No.
something like that?
No, I just knew, the boys that they had started running with was still in the cars.
Just your
And so,
intuition.
and I was just praying all the time, and then, one day I had a nerve to call the police on him, because I was, and I know that's crazy, but I was so scared something was gonna happen to him. And somebody told, your son is over here, him and the other guys, and they over here getting these cars. And I couldn't find him, because like I said, I would go out looking for mine, She'll tell me. I would go out looking for him and couldn't find him, so I called the police and asked them, can they help find my son?
So you called the police for his protection?
Yeah.
He probably didn't like that at all.
He did.
So
He would laugh though, because he was so silly. He would just, Mama, you called the police on me? I said, I sure did.
What he said the police said when they pulled up on him?
He just said they brought him home.
They actually put
brought
him in the
home
car.
and brought him
so
home.
he was with his friends, and the police rode around with his
Brought him
friends,
home.
and they put him in the car.
Yep.
What did he say when he walked into the house?
Just was grinning, because he was a smiling child. That's all he did, was just smile all the time. And it was so hard to get mad with him, because he would just smile all the time. Mom, he called me Mom.
Let me tell you.
Mom.
How
Like,
funny would it be if I was on the block with my partners, and we already doing stuff we ain't supposed to be doing, and the police roll up, we finna run, it's too late, we can't go nowhere. He said, hey, I'm looking for him. Your mama said she wants you to come home. Do you know how hard? I wouldn't even think he snitched. Now I'm like, man, listen, you don't need to come out here. You got a mama at home that love you.
And that's what that's what they talked to him about.
You don't need to be out here with us, you know what I'm saying? Oh man,
That's it.
I've never seen that
That's
in my
it.
life. I know I would have laughed too when I came
Right.
home. I would have laughed too. So I guess we're gonna take it. So that day, the day that actually happened, you said it wasn't in the state of Georgia, correct?
Yeah, it was in Georgia. It was
in
like
Georgia.
College Park.
Oh, it was in College Park. So what do you remember that morning when you woke up? You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people
Well,
have
that-
intuition about things.
Okay,
going
that
on.
particular night, he and the other guy that got killed was going to babysit his on his sister's, his sister's children. And so I'm just thinking he just at the babysitter, so I'm okay. My other children went to spend the night with their cousins, and so I was okay. I had the house to myself, so I was just, just good. And then the next day, it just like, I always been able to sleep, but this particular night I couldn't sleep. I was just tossing and turning. I kept like, what's going on? But then I took an aspirin and went to sleep. And so what happened, I was going on, about my business, just doing, straightening up, doing a little extra cleaning up. And then some of his friends came to the house and they said, Mom, they used to call me Mama. Mama, I'm sorry for your loss. And I'm saying, you sorry for, what you mean? You sorry for my loss? I'm trying to figure out who in my family done died. And I said, what you mean? They said, oh, you haven't seen the news? I said, no, what you mean? And they said, well, TJ and Stewart, TJ and the other boy, got killed. They said two guys killed them. And I said,
Take your time, take your time.
I said, whew.
Take your time.
I said, I don't feel that. I don't believe he's gone because I just talked to him last night, and they said, well, let us check it out. So I did my homework. I started calling around, and nobody said. Everybody who I called, from the police to the examiner's office, everywhere I called, it was like, no, we don't have that description of them. So then they start saying, well, they was 20 years and 21 years old. I said, oh, so that ain't my son, because they was younger than that. They was 16, right? And so I still, I think I got a call. Hold on, we talk about that part, but that
Man,
might
let
just
it
scare somebody. Okay, what happened? Wow, don't think I'm crazy, but I got a phone call. And my son said, hey, Mom, I love you so much. And I said, I love you too, baby. Where you at? And the phone just went silent. His daddy called and said, TJ just called me and said he loved me. Now, he already dead. And so it was like almost giving us hope that he was still alive, because right after that happened, a young guy came in and said, we seen TJ on Washington Road. And I said, okay, but at that time I felt like he was gone though. I felt, even though I didn't want to, feel that or experience that, but, whew.